Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Sharon Rankin, and I am so pleased to welcome you to our Monday night Mission Possible team call. We come together every single week as a team to really inspire healthy living, which is the greater mission of what our Juice Plus family and company is. And your presence here tonight says a lot. It says that you're finishing strong, that your business is important to you, and that you do care about inspiring healthy living, because when we come together, it is to be educated and inspired, but it also is to help us work on our skills and our habits and our disciplines. And that's what we do every single Monday night so that we can be better at what we do. So our team mission statement is that we are a growing team of inspired individuals, ambassadors for change, dedicated to creating a healthier life for as many as possible and in future generations. And every time we share our story, every time we share a resource, every time we invite someone to come on along, that is exactly what we're doing. So tonight we are finishing our GoPro series. It's really been a great series, and I've had super feedback from so many of you of the calls and the contribution and the preparation. So thank you everybody again who has prepared over the last few weeks to make this a really significant, meaningful time together. And so before I pass the call to Sally Reinemer and Paula Fontanelle, I just want to address one little thing that we touched on last week in the Getting Started piece. And if you refer to the GoPro book, if you have your book out, if you have it where you can turn to page 109, there's a great little checklist right there. And there's a checklist that talks about it says helping somebody get over the line. My verbiage would be helping them get off to a great start, linking arms with them, and helping them being comfortable and confident. And there's a checklist there. And Surette on my team shared last week how we had helped her do that. But maybe some of you are wondering, maybe you don't feel comfortable or confident in being the sponsor. You don't know where to go. So I want you to know that I have not made up any of the things that we've talked about. There is a place. So I'm going to share with you just real quickly from our Freedom Revolution, the sponsor startup checklist. And in case you didn't know, you can go to the Freedom website, click on the A to Z tabs. They're in the right-hand corner of your screen. There'll be A to Z. Click on that. You've got the sponsor startup checklist. You've got the new startup checklist. That's all right there for you to do. So you take your startup checklist, and then you want to, from there, let me go to the next piece. You also want to use if I can find it really quickly, the Getting Started checklist. There is a Getting Started checklist, and I had it a minute ago. So hopefully you'll know what I'm about. There's a Getting Started, what I would call the Getting Started, not just checklist, but quick start representative guide. And it takes you through the quick start, the roadmap, product and business story, dream teaming, and then your product PBC chart. So I want to recommend that you print off, in order to be prepared. This is the best thing I can recommend. It's a mindset. And today we saw that with several of you who are finishing off your 5-1s. And you'll hear from some of our own leaders who are not just telling us all to go get a 5-1, that they did it themselves. But you're going to hear when we do our call how mindset made the difference in accomplishing the goal. So if you want to take a mindset and get your checklist out there, have it printed off, be ready when you're ready to sponsor someone so that you're comfortable and confident and they'll want to link arms with you. So just finishing that off so you know that you don't have to wonder how to get somebody off to a good start. So I'm delighted to welcome and introduce to you National Marketing Director Sally Reinemer and Senior Sales Coordinator Paula Fontanelle, who are going to guide us in these last 3 chapters of our GoPro series. So ladies, welcome and take it away.
Well, thank you. Sharon, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. Yes, I'm Paula Fontanelle, and I am a Senior Sales Coordinator from Columbia, Missouri. The Juice Plus product and business have been a part of my life for 15 years. I think right now I'm just loving the ways that our company is supporting us with new incentives like the 5-1 and tools like Team Z just to help us thrive in our businesses. I'm just super excited also for conference and all the new changes that are there that are going to help us move our businesses forward too. So honored to be here tonight. So Sally and I, yes, we're going to be covering our last session of GoPro, and we're going to talk about skill number 7, promoting events, and then reviewing the 2 closing chapters. So turn, if you would, to page 111 in the book. I think this first sentence here just says it all on that chapter of promoting events. Technology can help us connect with people in ways that are becoming more and more efficient, but nothing replaces face-to-face interaction. This really reminds me of something we've heard our president, Jay Martin, say. There's Facebook and there's look, just the importance of people and seeing people face-to-face. Events of all kinds, I know, just have a huge impact on the long-term success of our business. So we thought we would take a few minutes here at the beginning just to talk about the power of events and why they're so important and what do they do for us. So first of all, we think they provide knowledge, right? An expert in the room can teach us something about nutrition, but they can also give us a tip to grow our business. And that's great, but there's so much more to events than just going to learn something. Events provide third-party validation that really builds our own belief, but also builds the belief of the guests that we have with us at the event, whether they're getting to know the heart of the corporate office or maybe learning the results of a new research study. Our confidence grows from other people. Third, we experience the culture and community when you're at an event. Just the Juice Plus family, when you feel connected, you just have such a sense of belonging. And I love that, and we all need that. Events are fun. They are super fun, whether it's listening to music at a home event that I got to do last week, or just visiting new cities, or eating with our team, or doing some Texas style dancing in a couple weeks in Austin. It's super fun to have events. They also provide a bigger vision. I know this was true for me, of just what's possible. When you hear stories of others and what they've done, you want to experience what they've experienced. And so you go home with a new fire. And then finally, there's just magic, I think, in getting away from the day-to-day. You know, Sharon often encourages us that wherever you are, be there. And when you can do that at an event, you are more focused on your business at an event more than any other time. You're not just squeezing it into stolen moments. You're truly focused on your business. So in our Juice Plus community, there are all kinds of events where we can experience this. You guys are familiar, whether it's meeting someone for coffee or a small group gathering in our homes, or even creating a Zoom event where we kind of combine the technology with the face-to-face interaction. Those are small type events, but then we have some medium to large size events too, like the Saturday regional or a weekend boot camp, a weekend summit, and then of course our 2 Juice Plus live events every spring and fall. These would be called the destination events that Eric talks about in his chapter, and all of these are definitely critical to success. So we wanted to share just what events have meant to us. For me, when I first started my business, my husband and I attended a conference just a couple months after I signed my distributor application, and we really just saw what was possible for us, and we left that conference on fire and grew our way to sales coordinator shortly after that. And I know in a couple of events that I've been presenting in, like a wellness presentation, I had guests in the room that came up after me afterwards and said, I want to partner with you. I want to do what you're doing. So events have definitely helped build my team. So that's been wonderful. And then I think also for me, holding small group gatherings like wellness presentations, wine and wellness, they have helped me to achieve a qualified business. It was through events in my home that was accomplished. And also, I've just had a ton of fun at events. You know, I get to travel with my family early on. And so my son and I, we got to experience Universal Studios and Epcot, you know, things that we normally probably would not have done had we not already been in that area because of a Juice Plus event. So those are my experiences. Super fun. So glad that I can do events. I'm going to turn it over to Sally to talk about that.
All right. Hi, everybody. So Paula and I are going to kind of tag team through these chapters. It's been so great, Paula. I have loved working with you, preparing for this. But I'm Sally Reinemer. I live in the Denver area. I have been eating Juice Plus for over 25 years. And I'll tell you, I am so grateful. I am so grateful for the help that I've experienced. Really, I feel better now than I did when I was in my 40s. I cannot believe it. I'm going to be 70 in a month and a half. And I cannot even believe it. In fact, I was sharing that with somebody the other day, and she said, you should wear a t-shirt that says, this is what 70 looks like. Do you want some, or something like that? I said, yes, exactly. And the business has just been such a melding of my passion for making a difference and leaving the world a better place. My lifelong value, and being able to combine that with something that actually creates a really wonderful financial existence and future. And so yeah, it's been great. So events, wow, in addition to what everything Paula was sharing, but they really are the lifeblood. I mean, I feel like our Monday nights are an event. They're the lifeblood. They keep us, you know, if you want to get a light turned on, what do? You plug it in. That's, you know, that's what an event is like. You plug it in. I get plugged in. They're not just valuable, but they're completely essential and critical. We know that isolation is the biggest danger, or the biggest threat to our the growth of our business. So staying plugged in, it's critical for our growth, our perseverance, because it's not always easy. We know that. Our development of skills, and personally, our spirit, and also showing us, I can do that. I can do this. At my first big event, which was a long time ago, but I saw the bigger picture and I realized I wanted to be NMD. I was scared to death. I mean, this was such a foreign world for me, the world of a business and, you know, selling anything or anything like that. But I just saw that this could happen, and I really wanted it. So on the plane ride home, we started making the plan, how it was going to happen. And started following that. Events have renewed and refocused me. One thing that Eric Worre talked about in the book, it really struck me. He said, I stopped blaming at an event. And I thought, wow, that is so true. I started from just the personal growth and all the speakers, that I am 100% responsibility. I am 100% responsible for my life. And so there's no room for blaming. It's their fault, it's whatever. So that was a huge aha for me. And there's an old saying that we have. If you've had a bad week or a bad day or a bad month or maybe even a bad year, you need the event. If you've had a great week or day or month or maybe year, the event needs you. And it really is in that sharing, in that community. So the first steps to developing a culture that promotes attendance at destination events, and his focus is really mainly on destination events, our big conferences or our summits, he said, is to commit yourself, to lead by example. And I have never missed one. I remember once I had a commitment of something I really wanted to do in Australia. This was a number of years ago, probably 10, 15 years ago. So I left early from that to get to Phoenix on Saturday morning or Friday morning, flew all night, and just, okay, I'm here at this conference. I mean, it's just, I just feel like it is the lifeblood. So leading by example, never missed one. He had a great story in here. At one of his first big events that he went to, he saw one of the top earners in the company, like out in the hall or something, or in the back of the room. And so he got up his nerve to ask him, well, what's the secret? And he said, well, Eric, do you see this room? It holds, in that case, about 2,000 people. At the next event, half of these people won't come back. He said, so here's the secret so here's the secret. At the next event, half of these people won't come back, but the other half that does will be making twice the average income of everyone else. Your job is to be in the 1,000 who come back. He said, so Eric says, that's it, just come back? He said, well, obviously you're going to have to be learning and growing and developing your skills in between these events. But the key is to just keep coming back. And you know what happens, and I think we've experienced those that keep coming back, is that when we get there, he used the term, I started to feel like Iron Man. When I made it a priority, when, I've done whatever it took, whether it was sharing rooms, bringing food, whatever, but to get there. So they're proud of the fact that I was still standing. And I thought of that song, I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. and that's there's an empowerment to that, of showing up and being there and following through on the commitment that is so important. So promoters make the event a priority in their group. They share stories on the power of the event. They paint a picture of what they'll get out of it, because it's not just for us to come, but also to bring others with us. So we're always promoting about it. We're always talking about the value of it and the power of it and how it's just not to be missed. And one thing that often happens is that we buy people's excuses. People have excuses. And one thing that I have learned from one particular, Danny Martin, leader in our company, and he even has it in his signature. There's no excuses, only priorities. And that is so powerful, because not only for somebody else, but for me, when I look at the choices, when you realize, yes, I'm responsible for my choices. Sometimes I choose to do something and sometimes I don't choose to do that. But, or I should say, and there's a power in that, recognizing that it's not an excuse, it's a priority. And so what is your priority? So that's empowering for our own selves. It's a stance that we can be in when we are understanding that for our own lives. But also it's a stance that we come from when we are communicating with another about maybe the excuse, but really priority that they're deciding. So it really allows us to maybe just ask some questions, not to get into shaming or making people feel bad if they aren't, or none of that kind of nonsense. There's just no room for it. It's crippling to our teams when that happens, but it empowers us to ask some questions. Maybe someone says, oh, I just can't stand to go alone again. A good question might be, well, do you think that'll change if you don't go? Will it be different next year if you don't go this year? Well, no, it probably won't be, because I won't have been able to take advantage, right, of all that clarity and that inspiration and that rejuvenation that I'm going to get there. There's a situation that they have. Like, I'm working with someone right now and they have to get a dog sitter, and they're having a really hard time getting a dog sitter. And if they don't get the dog sitter, they can't come. So if we could get that, if we could work together, problem solve around that, get that sorted, would you be able to come? Yes. Okay, then let's really go at it, because maybe it isn't, maybe it's not really that, it's something else. So anyways, it allows us to be able to inquire. Let's see. Okay, so we're moving on to the next chapter. We have a lot here. All right. So it takes time.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's me still. Okay. Okay, anything worthwhile takes time. So I'm just going to speed through this because, just because. Often we think with network marketing, sometimes it's presented, oh, like you're going to get rich quick. Well, it doesn't work that way. Anything takes time, takes work. You know, a traditional business, people don't even expect to break even for 5 years, right? But somehow with network marketing, people think, oh, it's all going to happen. You know, I just have to find 2 or 3 people and it's all going to happen for me. Well, it just doesn't happen. So it's really important for ourselves to understand, as well as when we are working with other people, that people really understand that it takes time, that there's skills to be developed. And he says here, but eventually I realized that to earn more, I needed to become more. I needed to work on my skills so I didn't have to rely on luck, timing, or positioning. Because sometimes people go, oh, well, they're just lucky. No, it's because they've worked on themselves, their skills they're developing, personal development. He says there's a formula I've seen work in our profession called the 1-3-5-7 formula. And I know people on this call are in all different aspects of this, but he said in general, it will take you about 1 year to become competent and to start, you know, covering your expenses. It'll take 3, and I really say 3 to 5 years average, I think you'd see in this company, to go from part-time to start, you know, becoming more full-time in this business. And if for some it's shorter, and for some it's going to be longer. But the important thing is that we keep going, and we keep growing, and we keep becoming an expert at this. So there's several things that he goes through here. I'm just going to hit it really high level. Model successful behavior. How do we become an expert? We model successful behavior, follow the system, we study. I mean, we all know so many books, audios, videos, Teams, he has tons of training in it, just so much that we can take advantage on, online, offline, listening to Audible. I listen to Audible all the time when I'm doing my exercise. Great books to listen to. Events, obviously, great way to learn and to grow, grow our skills. Stay with the simple system. Be careful of distractions, he talks about. Going for the next shiny thing. No, keep it simple. With the simple system, we already have it all set up. Learn the skills, make a plan to learn those skills. I mean, this book is just full of skills. So pick a skill that you want to get better at and make a plan to really learn that. Teaching is another great way that we become an expert. In the old saying, today the student, tomorrow the teacher. And it's so true. You know, what we learn today, it's so simple. We can turn around tomorrow and teach it to somebody else. Our associations also are so critical and he talks about from Jim Rohn. He said, he taught me the law of association that says you'll become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That's powerful. You know, and you see that that's also I have a say in that. So there may be some negative people that you have to get out of your life. You know, I know for me, there's just been some people, I just don't hang around them. You know, I just don't. I don't associate unless I absolutely have to. And then the other thing is to expand our associations. You know, within our Juice Plus community, to really expand our associations into the people that can have that we can really learn from, that we can model after, that really are going to have that positive input, but also in other professional groups that we are connected with. I learned so much through the chamber and through this other organization that I'm part of, Colorado Business Women. Always learning and growing and being empowered. Okay. I think I'll end there. It's all worth it, Paula.
Okay. Yes, page 135 reminds us that it's all worth it. First sentence, wonderful. Network marketing can be challenging. It is an emotional experience. The ups and downs can be dramatic, but in the end, it's all worth it. I tell you what, I was very encouraged to read that. I've had some of my greatest joys in this business, but I've also had some really big heartbreaks and challenging times too that set me back. And it took me a little bit to get back through that, but to know that that's normal, that makes me feel like I'm not crazy, and that people just go through some of this stuff. So that's encouraging, but take a look at all the reasons why it's worth it. There's a career that you can create, Sally.
Yes, flexibility, income, making a difference. Those are the things that are very important for me.
So freedom that you'll get to enjoy, the lives that you'll touch.
Yes, go.
The people that you get to meet, the places that you'll get to see, the causes that you get to contribute to. I know I've loved being able to give to an organization that builds schools and teaches single women how to support themselves in Tanzania, Africa, and I've used my Juice Plus income to do that. So that causes to contribute to has been a huge one for me. And then the person that you become, obviously, in the process is huge, Sally.
Yes, so I just wanted to expand a little bit on the causes that we get to contribute to, because there are those that are our own personal causes that we get to contribute to and volunteer in, but also just by being a part of the Juice Plus company. With every order, we're supporting the Volunteers of America, St. Jude's, Boys and Girls Club, Children's Hunger Fund. We've contributed to the Bahamas, Complete Meals, and through our family health study. We also contribute millions of dollars of free Juice Plus has been given to families around the world. And yeah, the person that we've become in the process, this business has totally changed my life. I was a different person, and I am forever grateful. It really is. I love this term that he uses. It's an incubator for personal growth. And I love that. And on page 144, he says the things that you will learn and that you will become. And I know for me, I was afraid, and it's not that I still don't have fear about some things. Every time I'm learning something new or trying something new, there's always that little bit of fear, but the confidence is built over these years. But you learn to face your fears, and you're in a community that supports you to face those fears. Doesn't leave you alone in your fear. Says, hey, come on, you can do this. Learn how to solve problems. Learn how to be a better communicator. Feed your mind with positives and really get that in terms of your mindset and protecting your mind from those dream stealers and those negatives. Learn how to grow stronger, learn how to get back up, like you were talking about, Paula. We have all had, it's just life, disappointments, and yet, learning how to get back up and be stronger from it. And you'll also learn how to lead, which is huge. So the greatest benefit isn't getting what you want. The greatest benefit is what you'll need to become in order to get what you want. So, thank you. This has been an incredible book.
Thank you, Sally and Paula, and really for just guiding us. It is worth it all, and I think anyone who's gone this journey and stayed the course would agree. If nothing, the person we become and the friendships that we make in the community. So we are truly blessed. So now we are making a little bit of change in our schedule because we have a special speaker that's going to come in and share with us on October the 14th. So first of all, mark your calendar for next Monday night, October the 7th, or is it the 6th? I don't have a calendar. I think it's the 6th. Monday, October the 6th will be we'll kick our month off with what we call Wins and Wows, which is now rebranded as Made for More. Every one of us were made for more, and so we have some great accomplishment as we've closed out September, and we're going to acknowledge that next Monday night. And then on October the 14th, Monday, October the 14th, Sharon Hyde, National Marketing Director, will be a special speaker for our team. They're going on now with something called the Code Breakers. I don't know if you've heard about the Code Breakers or not. It's a simple little system and program to help us identify how to better communicate to the people that we're working with, whether it's in prospects or customers or team members. And she's going to come in and share a little bit about that. I got my cards today. And so there's going to be some talk about it. We want our team to be well advanced prepared for what we're going to hear. So be sure to mark your calendars. And then the following 2 Monday nights, okay, thank you. October the 7th is next Monday. And then the rest of October will be conference review and what we've learned at conference. And so we know that you want to be here for the entire month of conference for our Monday night calls. Always important. So invite your team members, reach out to your team members and invite them to make this a priority, because it is a significant piece of our Juice Plus Community Week. Thank you everybody for being here. Have a great week. And let's start October strong. Start October strong with a great mindset. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Great job.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Good
Thank
job.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.